What's up? I'm Jeff. Gonna take you through a little look at my rig that I built. DIY rig that I built out of 2x4, 4x6, all that. I'm in this like tiny den here in our apartment, and I gotta tuck to the corner here. It's like right here, and this is like the curtain on the other side here is our living room, and then this is kind of like my space in the apartment, but it's also like where we have our shared like working computers. So I'm a photographer, and my partner, she also works with the photography company that we work for, so she does a lot of editing and whatnot from home. So yeah, so got the computer there and the rig here and everything set up. Originally, I'll show you, but originally I had everything on the desk. If you go back and look at some of my older videos, you can see like my whole setup is just my wheel clamped to my desk. I decided I wanted to upgrade from that, so I built this thing here. You can't see it right now, but I'll put in hopefully some photos of like when I was building it and whatnot. But yeah, I'll go through and hopefully I can get some good video of this thing, but we'll go through like a few different like parts and aspects of it. Okay, so this is the rig here. I can't really go much wider just because my camera's plugged into the computer right now, and yeah, I can't pull it back much further. It's as wide as I can get right now, but we'll go into some details there. But yeah, so the wood frame I built out of 2x4. I have the Thrustmaster 248 wheel that came with the pedals down there. I have a H shifter that I bought from AliExpress. The knob for the truck sim is from AliExpress as well. I just have my mouse there. I got these Govee lights here that I got on sale from Amazon during Prime Day for like ambient light here, which is cool. It works pretty well. It works really well. I really like it. Just like in the videos when I'm recording, for whatever reason, probably just because my computer's not got the power to be able to do the rendering on all three monitors, to do the lights and process the video when recording. So I noticed that sometimes when I'm recording, the lights aren't as responsive. So usually when I'm going under like what would you say, like lights on a track or something, they'll like turn on and off and all this stuff, especially at night. But yeah, they're not super responsive. The seat I got from Princess Auto here in Canada. It's like a hardware surplus kind of store. But all the knobs, I'm not sure if you can see, but here like the steering wheel is adjustable, so like the steering wheel deck can tilt up or down, because I have thumb screws with some brass wood inserts screwed into the deck with some extra holes on the side. I'll show a close-up of all that stuff there. And then I did the same for the pedals, so the pedals can be adjusted up or down. Yeah, move forward and back because there's holes along the pedal deck, but there's also holes in the uprights with thumb screws going through there. Same with the seat. So the seat sits on a little frame, and then I have M10 thumb screws with M10 by 25 millimeter brass inserts in there. Originally I had the M6 screws like I have here in the seat, but because of the weight of my body and the seat combined, it was not like thick enough to be able to hold everything up. So originally I had just the M6 10 millimeter inserts in the seat deck, but eventually I went to the M10 25 millimeter, and it's pretty sturdy now. Like it doesn't shift around. The seat is like a seat from a car, so like for a car, so it has the rails on it, so I can slide it forward and back, as well as the adjustments here, so I can get it in the ballpark with the thumb screws and slide it forward and back. It also retracts, tilts backwards and forward. So yeah, this is a better look at the seat. It's like faux leather with a red trim, which is really neat. Yeah, and it's really robust, and it has like a recliner here. So I can obviously straight up and all the way back if you want, which is cool. Like at one point, like I wanted to be able to play this like Formula One if I wanted to, like tilt the seat back like this and then tilt the seat back. Obviously it doesn't have the sweep here where it like tilts up to hold your head up, but it's pretty neat. Honestly, like I made the whole thing modular so that I could, tilt the seat down using the thumb screws and all that. I tend not to do that, honestly, because it's pretty heavy and it's a decent amount of work to try to readjust it. So I have just left it like this. I've mostly just played Assetto Corsa. So I'm playing mostly GT recently or rally stuff. So I haven't really felt the need to tilt it back. But I did it once and it was fun. I did like it. But for now, I'm just going to leave it like this. So I'll show you, this is a better view of the thumb screws that I have in here. So, they're tightened pretty tight. Well, will this one come loose? Yeah, that one will come loose. Yeah, I must have reefed them on there pretty good. But yeah, they're 60 millimeter screws. I don't know what that is in inches. I usually work in inches. Like I designed the whole thing in inches. But the screws were all in millimeters, so I don't know what that is in inches, but yeah. So I put a whole bunch of holes in the side here so that if I wanted to like move the whole seat up a little bit I could, or shift it forward and back. Like I said, really I haven't moved it a whole lot because it's pretty heavy and kind of a pain to move, so I've just really for the most part left it where it's at. But yeah, that's about it there. Okay, so here, I just have my phone here. Here's the wheel deck, and it's just like 1/2 inch plywood here, and then 2x4. And then you can see here, so like these holes here are actually holes that I had made originally because I had the like wheel deck out here. It was a lot closer and I found it to be too close, so I cut it off and moved everything back and re-drilled the holes. So these are the original holes, and then there's holes back here with these thumb screws here for the new position. Yeah, these just come out here. These I can loosen to spin it. These are just like that, these little T thumb screws. You can just spin it, and then I can shift the whole thing. So like if I wanted to play Truck Sim and have the wheel, I'm gonna lose my phone. If I wanted to play Truck Sim and have the wheel like tilted back a bit more, obviously the monitor is too close here for that, but I could do that. So I'll just thread back in there, and right. Originally I had it out further and I could tilt it back more without the monitor getting in the way, but I decided I wanted the monitors to be closer to me because I figured that would be better for the field of view. So I brought them forward a little bit more by like, I don't know, 2 inches, 2 or 3 inches. I think I moved everything by like 3 inches, I'm pretty sure. Okay, so over here is the shifter. So I got this like AliExpress shifter I bought here for like 40 bucks or something, and then the truck shifter with the knobs to split gears. I think it was like 40 bucks. And I just built this little deck for the shifter. Eventually I'd like to get a handbrake, put that here maybe, or move this over, put the handbrake over here. I don't understand exactly where a handbrake goes, because like in my car the handbrake is here. but I've seen a lot of rally stuff where the shifter is here and the handbrake is over here to the right of it. I don't know, but like I'd probably put it here. I don't know. Convinced me otherwise, but yeah. So I just built a little 2x4 platform here, like just kind of a bracket that comes off of the rig and comes up to this plate, and then just some screws here with some like nuts behind it to hold this here, and you can see the cables running up here into there. I have this spot here right now. Like I didn't really think about where to put my mouse, so right now my mouse kind of sits down here. I'm thinking about getting a trackball so I could just move it with my thumb, maybe put it back here, build another plate or extend that, like make a new piece and repaint it and put it over here so I can move the mouse over here, or keep it up here on the wheel deck, but probably I'd want to keep it down here. And I have my keyboard over here. It's just, I don't have a place for it and build it in. I mean, I've seen a lot of people put that underneath the monitor on the left hand side, which is cool, but right now it just sits there, and then I pull it, pick it up, put it on my lap when I need to use it. Okay, so this is the pedal deck I built. It's just the plywood, 1/2-inch plywood down at the bottom, and then 2 2x4s on either side. I put, I don't know what, 12 holes in here, down here, and I put inserts in every single one because I got to pack up like 100 from Amazon or something. And then I had put holes in the uprights here on both sides. And I have it tilted, like the wheel deck, or sorry, the pedal deck is tilted down at a bit of an angle. I just wanted to do that because I liked kind of tilting the pedals a little bit closer towards me, so that if they were flat, I didn't have to like push so far away to get it to engage. If the whole deck is tilted a little bit closer to me, then they're already a little bit more vertical and there's less travel on my ankle to get it to engage. Because of the angle, I slotted the front holes a little bit on the upright here, so that like there's a little bit more play. I found like none of my measurements were precise and super accurate, so there's a little bit of error when drilling holes. Everything doesn't line up perfectly because I did it all just by hand and with like a measuring tape, so I wasn't super accurate with all that stuff. And then I put a little piece of carpet that I found at the dollar store on the bottom, which I think is neat. It's a cool look. It just feels a little bit more like you know, like the carpet in the bottom of a car. But yeah, and it prevents like slipping and stuff, so I think it's cool. So that's that. Okay, and let's just talk briefly, I guess, about the monitors here. So I got 3 monitors. I'll show you behind, but I have like just like a desktop triple monitor bracket, so it holds the first one on the post in the middle, and it just goes up and down, tilts back and forth and side to side. It's an older monitor. It doesn't have a, I guess what they call a VGA bracket or whatever. It didn't have the holes in the back, those 4 holes. It's an IPS monitor I bought for photography many years ago. I think it's like 2016 I think I bought that monitor, so it's almost 10 years old now. And so I bought like this extra little bracket thing to hold that instead of just buying another monitor. I bought the 2 Acer monitors on sale from Best Buy here in Canada for, I think they were like $180 a piece. And then I had seen like the DIY bezel hider thing online, and so I just bought like a spare monitor from like Value Village for like $10 and cut these strips off the Fresnel to like make it look a little bit more seamless. It works pretty well. It's not perfect, especially considering the monitors are different. like the bezels are different. So like up here I have a thicker bezel on the LG versus like I have almost no bezel on the Acer, so they don't quite line up as nice. And them being on these just have like pneumatic arms that hold these two, so when I move it around or change something, it's very finicky and it's hard to get it lined up perfect and get everything locked in. I'll like move this monitor and the whole thing will spin. Probably gonna have to figure that out at one point, but yeah. So, and they're different monitors, so I had like there's a bit of color difference in the three of them. Like this one's a little bit more green, whereas these ones are a little bit more blue. But yeah, that's fine. That's about that. Okay, and I'll just show you the Govee lights that I bought. So I got this, I don't even remember what it's called. Like the brand is Govee, but it's like H5065 or something. They're like made to go behind the TV basically. They're wired together, and then this runs down to a little controller that then plugs in. It plugs into, it's not USB, it plugs into the power and then it connects. I have it connected via the Wi-Fi to the computer. So what they do is in the SimHub app, once you link these to the computer and you have it on LAN, so like through the Wi-Fi, they're controlled on the local network. You can connect them to the monitors and place certain little boxes on the screen and say, okay, this one is going to be for this position here. So you can put them like relative to the dashboard or the mirrors and stuff, so that when you're driving under certain lighting conditions, the lights will actually change and give off the same color or ambient color or light that you're driving in, which is really cool. I find they work really well, but I'm not sure if I mentioned, but when I'm driving and recording, I don't think my computer has the power to be able to, take all of this information, take all the information for rendering 3 monitors, and then also do the video processing for recording in like 1080. So eventually I would like to get a secondary computer to do all of the video stuff and the recording into that, and then just have this computer be dedicated to running and rendering the game and whatnot. But yeah, so that's that. Okay, I'll show you just briefly here. I just got extra pieces of duct tape on here from when I ripped this all apart. So I'll show you briefly here. This is just like the back. So this is a mess, right? Because I never see it. It doesn't come through in recording or anything like that. But yeah, that's the center post for the triple monitor. So it looks like it's actually starting to like, bend forward a little bit. There's just like a screw that goes through that piece of 2x6 down there that goes into there and holds the whole thing up. And it's quite a bit of weight hanging way out here. Originally I had it back, like I said, 3 inches, and I had those little feet screwed around the other way. But I turned it this way to see if I could get it closer. But I might actually back it up again and spin the feet around to give it some more support, because this might be a little bit too much strain on it. I'm not sure if you can see here, but this here is the controller, the Govee light controller. So it goes in USB-C into the controller, and then this is just the power that goes there just to run the lights, and then it uses this here to then go Wi-Fi to the computer. So here's a look at my cable salad back here. So I got all kinds of cables running through here and everything. I have the the HDMI, the display port, the power cables. I have this like LED strip from IKEA from eons ago. I have this bus, so I could plug in multiple USBs. So this basically has everything on the rig into here. Right now my phone's charging from there as well. So I have the steering wheel, the shifter knob, and I think that's it. That's usually all I have running off of there. Yeah, there's 3 things, and then my phone plugged in. Yeah, and then you can see like way back there, I have a power bar plugged in with everything for the rig plugged into that. So I have the LED lights, the 3 monitors, the Govee lights, the wheel. And I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's probably it. And then I have the power bar plugged into a Govee Wi-Fi power outlet thing, so that actually I can control it from Google Home, so I can like talk to it and I can turn it on and off, or I can just control it from my phone. Okay, and then this is just my computer setup. So this is like, you know, I got my VR over here and the controllers and the computer. This monitor runs into this computer and the keyboard, so I have the wireless keyboard over here, but then the mouse goes back here. I'm gonna get another mouse probably, so that I don't have to keep moving the mouse. I don't have to move the keyboard, but I do have to move the mouse. Yeah, I got speakers there, but when I'm using the rig I use headphones. Normally it's like pretty dark in here. I'll just turn the light off. So normally it's like this. So I got this kind of like mood. It's kind of ambient. And then I have like, of course, those little LEDs underneath of the rig. So that kind of just lights around it at the bottom, like around the pedal deck, really just see my feet kind of thing. Maybe I'd like to get a few more LEDs. I don't know. I like it kind of being a little bit more dark underneath the rig. Okay, so this is mostly what it looks like when I'm playing. Usually I have it pretty dark in here because I got lots of light under here from the Govee lights. And I have the whole thing on wheels. So like right now it's pulled, I had pulled it out quite far so that I could show the pedal deck and everything. Usually I don't have it out this far. I'll just show you. So usually I push it in a little bit closer. Usually when I'm playing it's kind of like here, and I have like the desk here. Usually my phone's sitting there or whatever. Used to put the keyboard there, tend not to now. I just throw it beside me over here. But if let's turn the light back on. If I have to work at the actual desk, I can always push this in and tuck it a little bit further, something like that. And then I'll show you here real quick if I can. Then I got a little bit more room over here at the desk. It's not really obscuring too much there, so I got all that space there. But then obviously, like when I'm getting in or out of it, you know, having the desk hanging out over here is kind of a pain, so I pull it out. So I put it on wheels so I can just slide it. Move the whole thing like that. Tuck that behind there. Yeah, I'm making do with what I have, so it works pretty well. Okay, give me 1 second here. Let's see if this will work. Hey Google, turn off my rig. There. So yeah, then everything turns off. The lights go off, the wheel turns off, the monitors turn off, the power to the Govee lights, the power to the USB hub all turn off. Okay. And then I can just turn it on the same way. Hey Google, turn on my rig. It's just calibrating the wheel. Yeah, and that's it. Yeah, I designed the whole thing on Google Sketchup. I tried to find something that would be more adjustable, something that would be more like something I could modify, like tilt the wheel, change where the seat is, change where the pedals are if I don't like, because the idea of getting everything perfect the first time and screwing it all together seemed very daunting to me. It seemed easier to make it so that I could slide it around and change it, and I'm glad I did, because I've moved the seat a couple times, I've moved the pedals a couple times. I even moved the shifter once I moved the seat around a little bit. I moved the shifter deck a little bit. So that's it. I might figure out a way to share the files. Maybe I might take out my designs for the plans and actually put them into like a PDF or something where I could just say, okay, like you need this much wood and this many pieces, because I wrote it all down in like a OneNote so that I kept track of everything. I know how many thumb screws I needed and how many inserts I needed and all that kind of thing. I kept a count of everything, so technically I could put it into a whole PDF and say like, these are the plans for the rig. This is like all the wood. This is how many pieces you need to cut. What length they need to be. All this stuff. So, yeah. Eventually, I'd like to upgrade my wheel because it's really good. I like it. I would like to try direct drive. Obviously, that's super expensive, and being everything DIY and doing it myself, I'm trying to save money. So I think the total after I did the last tally with everything, including the wheel and the monitors, I think it was around $1,200. So the wood alone was $130, like the wood, the wheels, some wood screws, and all this stuff. Yeah, but yeah, cool, good. I hope that's informative. Peace.